Sunday, February 5th, 2023. Today on the Daily Review, we discuss an Irish film that is nominated for Best Non-English Speaking Film this year at the 95th Academy Awards. That's right, it's The Quiet Girl. I am not going to attempt to say it in Irish, but I will say that counting from 1 to 100 in Irish is like a beautiful poem. It might be the most beautiful language I've ever heard. It's crazy. I love it. It's very frustrating for an English language speaker to look at it because all the letters like make different things. The main character in this movie is named, I would say, Kate. It's Kcait. But whenever anybody in the movie says it, it sounds like coit or koi. And I saw it's just a whole, I want to take a class. Can I get someone to teach me? A lady from Ireland or a man, preferably a lady. Hey, this reminded me of the movie Summer of 93, that Catalonian movie. Remember that? Anyway, okay. This is the story of a girl. She's like 8 or 9 years old, and her mother is pregnant. She's got a bunch of kids. They're not doing well. Obviously, takes place in Ireland. Financially, they're not doing well. The father's kind of a layabout, and she's kind of problematic. She's not really getting any attention. She's struggling in school, and she's a bedwetter. She's just struggling, you know. So the mother's like, "All right, you should go live with my cousin in Waterford for the summer, like on their farm, and until the baby is born." And it's very, very predictable. In fact, it's probably one of the most predictable films of the year. So it's amazing that it still works, but it's very clear. She gets to to this big, open, beautiful area, and gets basically a new mother and a new father. You know, they are family or whatever, but the mother is like just loving and taking care, doting over Kate the whole movie, or Kyle, or however you say it. I like that little nickname everybody says. Instead of saying like honey bunny or whatever, they say pet. And I'm like, oh, that's an interesting way of looking at it. I know they mean it as like a term of endearment, but like trying to possess or whatever. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but it is, you're kind of like, okay, the father's a little bit, the new father caretaker is kind of reticent to bond with the girl, and the mother is like overly kind of interested in taking care of her and getting her new clothes and all sorts of stuff like that, and making sure that she like learns all the things that are going to help her in her life. I thought the movie took place in like the early 60s. I'm like, what's this, like 1962? And it says it's 1981. I was like, oh my gosh. I guess fairly rural Ireland in 1981 looked like America in 1971. But yeah, the movie itself, it's very simple. It's understated. The performances are great. This little girl's face will be burned in your memory. Like, this has been, goddamn, 2022 is the year of beautiful young international ladies with just remarkable coming of age movies, you know, between this and Happening, and Morena, and there's another one I'm forgetting, After Sun. God, all of them amazing, right? What a year. Yeah, it really telecasts what's going to happen pretty obviously, and it's really kind of clear what the third act switch is going to be, and then the baked in conflict is obviously like, well, she's not going there permanently, and she's going to learn to love it after some hesitation, and then she's going to have to go back. So what I think is curious about this film, I do really like it, is that despite all of those things, despite the fact like Top Gun, within the first 10 minutes, I was like, well, this is going to happen, and then this, and then this thing, and like, I'm not being like I'm not saying I'm special or anything. I think most people, especially people who like, watch a lot of movies or study screenplays and stuff, they can go, oh yeah, this is kind of like, I can kind of pick out the beats. It would make sense where this goes. And it follows it to a T, but for some reason it's like, it's really satisfying. If it's like as if someone freehand drew a circle and it was really close to perfect, you'd be like, good on you, dude. Good on you. Because the cinematography is great. Yeah, all the elements come together beautifully, and it feels timeless. Like it feels like it could have been made in the 50s, which is cool, or now, and you'd still be like, I get it. There's some complicated stuff, especially in the ending, and I think it's a really good movie. I do not think it's better than EO, and I actually don't think it's better than some of the other movies that I just mentioned, which I don't understand why they're up and this isn't for Oscars, but who cares? That's all a scam anyway. Anyway, Odie is buried under the covers because it is so cold and miserable out, but yeah. Anyway, like and subscribe, guys. Like and subscribe. I highly recommend it. I'd rent it on Voodoo's thingy or one of those thingies. What I learned though, yeah, it's I think I've said this a couple times in the past month that like, despite its predictability, there's something satisfying about it, pulling it off really well. It's like, hey, you just want a cheeseburger sometimes. What? But people who said EO was predictable, I completely disagree with. I think that, yes, the conclusion, where it's heading, is very obvious. It's like obvious from the poster where it's heading. But the route they take to get there is crazy, is so unique and interesting and inventive and thought-provoking. Whereas this, again, same thing, predictable, and it takes the exact route you'd think. But it's really nice. I liked it a lot. It'll be interesting to see what happens come Oscar night. Anyway, take it easy, guys. Stay warm.